Bitcoin reached $93,000. Ethereum is finally above $3,000 after 4 or 5 months being below that. Fear and greed is over the charts, is on extreme greed. Peanut got listed on Binance and made a lot of money for a lot of people. Including myself. I'm holding a little bit of Peanut as well. So crypto's finally seeing that bull run that everyone was waiting for. So let's look at our positions, our options. Let's look at a few upgrades that we have here on the UI for the topics, and then let's cover some news as always. So let's jump right into it. Hello everyone, welcome back. So yes, today we're going to be starting the video by looking at our options. If you remember, on Monday we did sell puts and calls on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I told you Bitcoin is overbought, but I don't have it in me to go against Bitcoin. And boy oh boy, how right was I, because right after that it rallied a lot. I think Bitcoin was like 82 when I did this video, and now it is at $91,000. So scrolling down to the puts right here, you can see that those are already in the profit, and I could have sold at the money that I was still very profitable, because 2,850, that number definitely not gonna happen by Friday. Also the 76,000, I don't think we're gonna see 76,000 again, maybe never. I don't think we'll ever see 70k again with Bitcoin, but who knows. And if you look below at the leaps, they're finally getting a lot of money. So you can see mainly the Bitcoin ones. The one for December on Bitcoin is finally in the green. This one got all the way to 30%. Right now it is giving me 390 bucks. And remember, this one was 70% in the red. You can go back to the other videos when I show the positions, and this one was in the red. But because I believed that Bitcoin was going to be way above 65k, I opened this in April. So remember, April, I opened this right here for $65,000 leap for the end of the year. So this one is paying out a lot. Of course, 17% since then is low, but again, we got all the way to 30, and for a leap that is this old and it was so much in the red, I am very, very happy with this. On Ethereum, this one was also in the green. Now it is 1.5 in the red, but this one was like 10% in the green, and I'm all for it, because as we know, Q4 is not bad, but it's not the best for Ethereum. Q1 is when Ethereum will explode, is when Ethereum will go maybe to, who knows, $6,000. We'll have to wait and see. So this one is even, we can call it even, a little bit on the red, but this one I'm very, very confident. And then we have the champion right here. This leap for September 2025, $70,000. It is giving me 1,347 bucks so far, 75%. So very, very extremely happy with this one. This one, the 4,000, I don't know, but again, this one got all the way to minus 70,000. I'll have to wait and see. Again, I don't think it will break even. If I close it with minus 30%, I will be extremely, extremely happy with this. So now let me show you something new with the topics. If we go to the copy trading, you can see that now we have a lot more data, and now you can interact here with the charts, and you say, wow, that's a lot of data. Well, guess what? If you click on explore more, you will have a whole statistic page, an analytics page for the current strategy. These letters that you see right here, if you don't understand, because a lot of people ask me, why AUM instead of TVL? What the hell is MDD? So if you click right here, you will see the things. So the MDD is maximum drawdown. The AUM is assets under management. Here you can see the charts. You can see the best days and the worst days right here. You can scroll to last week, last month, all, and you can see that the worst we had was 2% on a trade. The best was over 3%, so almost 4% in a single day. Below right here, you can see your statistics. At the bottom, you can see your positions. So in statistics, you can see that we are doing very, very good. The average per win is $1,000. The average per loss is $638, but the profit so far is $61.89. We are reaching the $1 million in deposit, withdraws 103%. So this strategy is healthy, and now you can check it out for yourself, which makes it better, because the more information you have, I think the best it is for people to understand how it works, have faith in the strategy, and see what is going good and what is doing bad at all times. So transparency is key here with the topics. So this is why we made this, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any more info that you would like to know, let us know here in the comments, Twitter, Discord, whatever it is. So looking at the liquidation map for Bitcoin, you can see that if we look down, the $90,000, the 87,838, it's very, very strong for Bitcoin. So I believe that Bitcoin right now is going to go and touch the 92K again, and then most likely is going to try and look for this bottom right here, because it's going to be too top heavy. If you look at the charts, Bitcoin has exploded and it is very, very overbought. And again, I think eventually we will see a correction, and when we see a correction, most likely it will be high 80s again, and we can confirm this by this huge liquidation leverage right here on Bitcoin at around 87,500. This article right here brings a few points, and one of them is the chart that I like to point out every time, which is the Q4 returns for each halving cycle of Bitcoin. And you can see right now we're looking at 43%, but guess what? Last time we saw 168% on Q4, and in 2016 we saw 58, but the year after we saw 215. So there's a lot going on here, usually in Q4 of the cycle of the Bitcoin halving, which is where we are right now. And that you added together that Trump won, you add together that there's a lot of bullishness here. This could be another 100% move in Q4 of 2024. Now, if you look at Ethereum has good Q4s, but it has way better Q1s. So we believe that Ethereum will indeed be green by Christmas, by New Year's Eve, but on Q1 next year, this is when Ethereum is going to rally and is going to go to the moon, because on average, Q1 is the best performing quarter compared to any other quarters here historically. So this is something that we have to catch on and understand, so we can open leaps, open longs, or even just selling to collect premium on puts instead of calls most of the time. Of course, sometimes you will better sell calls, but since we see the pattern here, puts could be best until there's a correction on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin saw a huge amount of pressure and resistance at around the $90,000. It touched that a couple of times and it tried to break as hard as it could. Of course, yesterday it was able to break through and get to 91, then 92, then $93,000. And that made outflows for miners surge to all-time highs, mainly because now miners have very expensive Bitcoin and they most likely are going to take profits, and that's totally fine. This article right here, when you read the title, you could get a little bit anxious of reading that miners are selling, but no, miners usually sell. They do tend to take profits, especially when there's huge movements like this, because they don't know when the correction will be or if they'll ever see this price again in the near future to cover for their expenses. So we see right here that the price itself of Bitcoin, once it reaches 90,000, there was 25,367 Bitcoin that were sold. So this outflow right here, which was around $2.2 billion that were sold of Bitcoin in USD. So what does that mean? Personally, I do believe that this is just a realization or profits being taken before the next cycle. So it is preparation. They need to upgrade hardware or to pay out costs of mining that, you know, they are not expensive, especially after each and every halving cycle, and they become very expensive, way more expensive than the last one. There's a lot of factors here that not necessarily is bearish for Bitcoin, but a lot of people tend to just panic and FOMO when they see miners or validators and other blockchains taking profits. But again, they do need to take profits. At the end of the day, if you hold Bitcoin, you need to sell to make some profits. Or you could do like us and use synthetic dividends to receive dividends from Bitcoin. Is that possible? You will see it on Friday's video on how to use your Bitcoin to get profit out of it. So imagine if you had 10 Bitcoin. Are you going to be selling your Bitcoin to live off of that? No, but what if you could generate income with Bitcoin instead of just staking it or locking it somewhere else? Well, this again is something that we're going to see on Friday. The hash rate from last week to today is going down, is dropping, meaning that most likely we have a lot of space to grow in hash rate, and that means also in Bitcoin's price for the next cycle, which is, for me, very bullish news. And again, there's a lot of people that agree with me that seeing the hash rate go down, especially after taking so many profits, a lot of Bitcoin being sold to take profits, is good. It is actually a healthy thing for it to happen with Bitcoin, because if miners are taking profits, is again to pay for costs, for fees, for maintenance, all of that, meaning they're ready to work more to upgrade their hardwares for the next cycle. So for me, it is just part of the deal. You know, people are going to take profits, people are going to sell, and you see the hash rate going down. It means there's way more space. That is very bullish indeed for all of us. So now let's talk about Bitcoin. When is it going to reach 100,000? You see that I've been telling you about 100,000 Bitcoin for a while now. I think the first video was back in September when we analyzed a trader's charts pointing at 110K. Then we covered 110 again. We covered 97 as the next big chunk, big spot right here. So a lot of people, including me, thinks that we should be way above $100,000 per Bitcoin, way above. Actually, if you go on Wall Street Bets, you can see that there's already some people who bought Bitcoin from some sketchy place and they paid overpriced. Some people already paid $100,000 for a single Bitcoin in some shady or sketchy place where they buy the Bitcoin from. So it doesn't mean that Bitcoin's price has touched 100,000. It means just that whatever place they were buying their Bitcoin for, they were overcharging and probably earning some money in that spread right there. But it has already happened. Someone already bought the first Bitcoin for $100,000. I personally believe that right now we're seeing a lot of strength. So if it keeps going, we should see $100,000 by Monday or Tuesday next week. But if it slows down, then we most likely are going to be looking at end of November or maybe beginning of December for that $100,000 to be reached by Bitcoin. So we have here a lot of important people in the crypto space telling you what is their prediction. So we have the global chief commercial officer here for OKX saying 100K by December. This one is something that I agree with. Then we have Tony from IG Markets saying that low to mid 90K by end of the year, which again, we already see 90K. So I believe that is going to be above that. Josh Gilbert from eToro is saying around 100K by end of the year. And then we have the CEO for CryptoQuant that he says $58,000 for Bitcoin. This is the price that he got because he thinks we are overbought. Again, I do agree that we are overbought, but I don't see Bitcoin being liquidated all the way to $58,000. And if that's the case, man, I'm going to be buying a whole lot of Bitcoin. But again, this is just a no for me. I don't think Bitcoin will be seeing 58K never again. Crypto Ricardo even commented on one of these videos that Bitcoin never sees the lowest price on election week. So after that, Bitcoin will never see that price. Historically, that has never happened. So we were like at around $69,000. So that price should be never seen again. But again, history tends to rhyme but not repeat itself. So this could be the year where it doesn't rhyme. So the story, instead of having 100,000, could go low. But again, I personally did not agree with this bearish outlook. So part of the rally for Bitcoin was due to the Fed cut. So we have around 80% of seeing another rate cut by 425 or 450 BPS by December. This one is going to be on December 18th. So you should be ready to maybe see another rally close to Christmas. So on the 18th, if Bitcoin hasn't reached 100K by then, this will most likely make it go all the way to $100,000. As we said before, over and over and over, history tends to rhyme. So take a look at the other cycles, analyze the movement and the strength or they moved in past years and past halving cycles. So this way you can prepare for what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Personally, by looking at that, I see that we still have some margin on the up top for us to reach, and then it's going to go down a little bit for a few months. So after we reach maybe $110,000, this is the number that I'm looking for, $110,000 per Bitcoin, that one is going to slow down. So we're going to have a little bit of a gap months between the all-time high, a few months where we stay sideways a little bit. Then we have a final stretch to reach another all-time high, and then we should be waiting for the next cycle to start. So personally, that is how I see the markets. This is how I see Bitcoin moving. For Ethereum, right now it's just going to be cruising, maybe going up to 1%. We're going to have that trend of going up, but not up enough where it makes any headlines. and then Q1 is when Ethereum will shine. So again, I'm getting prepared for that. I hope you are as well. So by Friday, you should see whether we made money or not with our puts. I believe that is fact already that we make money with those, and with our leaps. If some leaps are good, we are going to start closing them already, especially the ones for December. Otherwise, we're going to be holding that maybe until May, maybe until June next year, and opening new leaps for the following year. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. If you did, leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, do the whole thing. You're going to help out the channel. So I'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.